Today, we're diving into Cairo, the capital of Egypt. It's a city that's really defined by this incredible contrast, this pull between its ancient history and its super modern vibe. So let's get into it. Right off the bat, this quote just paints such a vivid picture, doesn't it? We're not just talking about a busy city. This is a full-on sensory experience. Just imagine that constant energy, the streets absolutely packed with traffic, all day, every day. That's the intensity we're talking about. And just how intense is it? Well, there are over 9 million people living there. To put that in perspective, that makes Cairo the largest city on the entire continent of Africa. It's an absolutely staggering number of people living their lives right there on the banks of the River Nile. So this brings us to the core idea here, this tale of two Cairos. The city is really shaped by this huge divide between its ancient past and its fast-paced present. It's a contrast you can literally see and feel as you move from one street to the next. And this really shows you what I mean. On one side, you have the old city. It's like stepping back in time. It's a maze of narrow, twisting alleys and these traditional markets called bazaars. But then on the other side, you've got the new city, a world of shiny office buildings, wide-open streets, and modern hotels. It's like two completely different universes existing side by side. Okay, so let's start in the new city and get a feel for how this modern metropolis works. And what better way to do that than to meet someone who actually lives there? Meet Mahmoud Abdallah. He's kind of our guide to what daily life is like in modern Cairo. Seeing the city through his eyes gives us a much more personal, down-to-earth perspective on this huge, sprawling place. So here's a little snapshot of his world. Mahmoud lives with his parents and his little 3-year-old sister Yasmin in a small apartment. His dad's a journalist, so he travels a lot for work, and his mom takes care of the family in their home. You know, a family dynamic that probably sounds pretty familiar to a lot of us. And of course, a huge part of his life is school. Like pretty much everyone in Egypt, Mahmoud speaks Arabic. He started school when he was 6, and now, at almost 8, he can already read and write, which really tells you a lot about the focus on education in modern Cairo. But, you know, one of the most incredible parts of this modern city is something you can't even see from the street. So, with all that traffic we talked about, how in the world does a city of 9 million people actually get around? Well, the answer is underground. Get this, Cairo has the only metro system in all of Africa. And it's not just any metro, it's one of the busiest on the entire planet, moving millions of people every single day. It's this massive, hidden piece of infrastructure that really keeps the city's heart pumping. All right, so that's a little taste of the new city. Now let's switch gears and explore that other side of Cairo's identity. The ancient world that is so alive and well, it pulls people in from every corner of the globe. It's no surprise that thousands of tourists flock to Cairo every year. I mean, they come to just soak up the history, right? They explore these incredible ancient mosques and amazing museums, get lost in the chaotic energy of the bazaars, and even take cruises down the legendary River Nile. So what exactly is a bazaar? Think of a traditional market, but turn the dial up to 11. It's this vibrant, buzzing center of life where people are making and selling everything you can imagine. Handmade shoes, shiny copper pots, beautiful jewelry, gold ornaments, souvenirs. It's a total feast for the senses. And of course, you can't talk about Cairo without talking about the icons. Just about 10 kilometers south of the city, basically in its backyard, you'll find the most famous monuments in history, just standing there, watching over everything. The Great Pyramids and the Sphinx. So you can imagine the perfect trip, right? You'd start in Old Cairo, soaking in the sights and sounds of the bazaars. Then maybe you'd hop on a cruise ship on the Nile, the longest river in the world, and to top it all off, you'd make that short trip to Giza to stand in the shadow of the pyramids and the Sphinx. It's an absolutely unforgettable journey through time. Now, there's one more major contrast that really defines life in Cairo, and that's its climate. The weather here creates its own kind of daily drama. Life here really revolves around a climate of extremes. The days are ruled by this intense dry heat, but the second that sun goes down, the temperature just plummets. It gets surprisingly cold at night, and that happens all year round. And this chart really lets you see that seasonal swing. In January, you're looking at a pretty pleasant average high of 19 degrees Celsius. But by July, in the peak of summer, it shoots up to a blistering 35 degrees. That's about 95 degrees Fahrenheit. We are talking hot and dry. So To sum it all up, think sunny, hot, and dry. You might see a little bit of rain in the winter, but the one thing you can always count on is that big drop in temperature every single night. And the one thing that connects it all, the old city, the new city, the millions of people, those extreme temperatures, is the River Nile. This legendary river is the absolute lifeblood of the city. It's the reason all these incredible layers of history have been able to build up right here on its banks. Which leaves us with a final thought. If a city is like a story, then Cairo is telling two stories at once. It's a city racing into the future with modern dreams, but it's also living in the huge shadow of its ancient past. And that tension, that push and pull between two worlds, is what really makes Cairo what it is today, and what will definitely shape its future.